Do you ever sit back and wonder, what the hell am I doing? Like, seriously, what the hell am I doing in my life? And at your core, you know what you're doing because it feels right, but somehow it feels like you're not fitting in with the rest of the world. So you're caught in this juxtaposition between what you feel in your gut and the way the world moves around you. Hello and welcome to Intuitive Insights, where I share universal messages from readings, from life, that were specific to a specific person, but I share the universal message here in hopes that you can use it for you. I'm your host, Meghan McDonough, and here's this week's message. The images that are coming forward today are different. They are not sketches. They are finger paints. Why the sudden change from sketch to finger paint, no less? Because the message that wanted to come forward this week was getting out of your head. Remove doubt. Trust and have faith in you. When I finger paint, I get right out of my head. The tactile experience brings me right into my body, into the moment. The idea that I am the follower of my intuition, not the brain guiding it. It also allows me to open up, play, and not block myself from moving forward. Get out of your way. I feel like I say that to myself quite often. Like, seriously, a lot. Doubt is such a useless emotion. Well, its use is in realizing you no longer carry it and have moved past it onto or into its counterpart, confidence, but otherwise it's utterly useless. But it sneaks into our lives constantly. I find that when doubt increases in me or sneaks into the cracks of my insecurity, it begins to grow in the crevices of my foundation and disrupt my sense of self. Because I've stopped trusting myself, stopped having faith in myself, and stopped doing what I am doubting with consistency. Years ago, I went to a retreat with my teacher, Dr. Vartika Dubey, and her father, Sri Om Prakash Tiwari, who gave an amazing talk on consistency. I took copious notes and wrote every golden drop of his language down. I felt like my mind had exploded with the truth and mysteries of the world, the universe, not just because he was saying it, not just because it made sense to me, but because I had actually experienced it. Tiwariji's talk was on the progression of doubt and what happens when you stop being consistent in your actions. That's how best I can describe it today. And it's from memory because shortly after I moved to Los Angeles, and when I asked my mother to send me my notes from this particular workshop, among other notes on yoga, she did, but the envelope they were in arrived unsealed. So when I got the package, there was nothing in it, which seems sort of funny now, sort of, but I was super upset at the time. But then again, at the same time, I thought, well, maybe this is supposed to happen. I mean, what are you going to do, really? So, hence, this is why I'm recalling all of this from memory. Essentially, what I remember him saying was there was a progression to doubt. It creeps in if you are not consistent in your practice. A rolling stone gathers no moss, same principle. Whatever your practice may be, it creeps in. Practice to cultivate your higher self, your communication and relationship to your higher self. The practice can be your art, it can be your work, it can be your service as far as religion or anything philanthropic that you do. Your practice could be yoga or a physical discipline or a mental discipline. When you stop being consistent, you allow the breeding ground of doubt to grow. When doubt has an opportunity and a space to grow, it starts to break up your confidence, your foundation. You begin to worry, and worry, if not checked, turns into fear. And fear, if not checked, turns into anger or disease. And disease can turn into major issues, physically, mentally, spiritually, what have you. We all find ourselves in this at some point in time. If you look back on your life, you may notice where, when, and how you may have fallen off the track of your physical discipline to get in shape. Or maybe when you went back to reignite your discipline, you find yourself fearing that you may not be able to do it. You may have doubts that it is ever going to work. And sometimes you just may flat out give up or not even start. You may give into the depression or the fear or the disease. I noticed it when I would write. I also noticed it with yoga and exercise and a lot of other things, but for me specifically, it was writing. When I would write, I was vulnerable. It filled me up, it made me nervous, and it challenged my threshold of vulnerability, which was exciting and scary. But if I kept consistent at it, I would keep my personal judgment of myself and my work at bay. If I got off my track, if I got off my consistency, I would find that I would start to doubt and to question. I would start to judge, to worry, to fear. I would start to eventually give up. The doubt would ricochet the faith I had in me, the trust I had in me and the process, and it would obstruct my path forward. You could really apply this to any goal in life. When they say show up, just show up. And it's that, but it's more than that. Consistency breeds confidence. When you keep showing up, you are building a foundation of confidence, whether that confidence is in your self-trust, self-faith, self-love, whether it is in a particular work project, an art project, an arena of your philanthropic endeavors, or any aspect of life or any goal you have. When you keep showing up, when you are consistent, you solidify the ground under your feet. You don't give an opportunity for doubt to come in and disrupt your base. This week, facing fear and doubt has come forward through the opportunity of consistency. The consistency to breed confidence in our communication with others or our higher selves, the world around us, wherever and whenever we can. Whatever it is that we want to focus forward on, consistency breeds confidence. When my daughter was learning how to ride her bike, I came up with this chant for her, which was, keep going, focus forward, keep going. Focus forward, keep going. And I gotta say, I think it works not just for bike riding, but for life. So where in your life do you need to keep going, focus forward, keep going, keep growing. Don't stop. Keep focusing forward, keep going. You got this. All right, that's this week's message. I have a new offering over on Patreon. On Patreon, I'm offering a subscriber-based interview series that just launched. Our first one was with Karen Gruber. She is a business coach for the spiritually aligned entrepreneur. Her and I discuss last week's podcast in depth and specifically go into the vibration frequency, or the law of vibration, as well as the law of attraction, frequencies, how to shift your frequency to elevate yourself to closer align to what it is you want in your life. It was a very fabulous talk, if I do say so myself. Karen is a good friend and just an amazing woman all around. So the first month of the podcast Patreon series is free. So go on over and check it out. I'd love to hear what you think. I would love your comments. And if you feel so moved, please share this podcast. Share my information on Instagram or on my website with someone that you love who loves to be inspired. I hope you have a wonderful week filled with constant confidence and consistency. Focus forward. Keep going. You're amazing.